I had to jump on with Omar here. He told me this morning that he's currently setting up his fourth property, and you joined how long ago?
Probably less than a month, I'd say. I think it's been about 3 weeks, I'd say.
It's been 27 days. I actually went through our chat to see when you joined. But
Yeah, yeah.
that is absolutely crazy, man. Tell me about this recent deal. Like how did you come about it?
It's pretty funny. Like this deal came about really quick. Like I was, I was in bed yesterday, and I was just like, because I just set up the third apartment, and just listed it, and I was like, you know what? Let me just give a couple agents some calls. Just still be in that rhythm. I don't want to get too complacent.
Yeah,
And spoke to a couple of agents. I just told her like, hey, look, we already have a couple of apartments in this building. This is what we do, and she's like, yeah, it should be fine. Just come for an inspection. So I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm anyways going to be there. Um, and yeah, we just went in, had a quick little chat. Got along pretty well. And I think we were literally just like on the spot. She's just like, yeah, look, if you want it, I can get the lease agreement to you today, get the keys to you today. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah, it was a very quick one, but I felt like because now I know how it all rolls, so it was pretty easy to have that conversation and just get the ball rolling. So it was good. I got the keys now, and the lease doesn't start until another 2 weeks. So she's like,
perfect.
you can go furnish it, do whatever you need, and then once you're done, um, the lease will start from then. So yeah, pretty happy about that. I was in the same building as well as the first one, which is good.
That's
Yeah,
amazing, bro. That's crazy. I mean, having the same apartments in one building, is in one building is just so efficient for your logistics, your cleaning team, also your own management, everything like that. So perfect, perfect, perfect. And what would you say, like, I guess before joining this program or this mentorship, what do you think the biggest concerns you had were going into it all?
I think just not really knowing the blueprint was my biggest concern. Like I knew I had the work ethic. I knew if I put my mind to something and I know that it works, I'll make it work. I'll find a way to make it work. But I just didn't have enough knowledge on how to do it the best way possible. And
Yeah,
looking back, I realized that you know what, bro. If I was to do this by myself with no guidance, I would have flopped the first one really hard and probably wouldn't even get to the second, third, or fourth. So I think it's just that guidance and that knowledge piece that you guys have given me, which has really allowed me to get to that level. Because I'll
yeah,
be honest, like mentors, I was like, oh, look, like I kind of lost trust in mentors until I came here, and I'm like, you know what, these guys actually restored my trust in like having a mentor to tell you what to do.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's
yeah.
really good, man. And I guess it's like in terms of how we help, can you kind of explain that process? For example, like the chat system and everything like that.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It's like very chill, which is what I like. If I have a question, I'll just pop it in. Um, it's got all the right systems that you need. I can tell it's like hours and hours and money that you guys have spent from trial and error, put into my system pretty much. So it's allowed me to fast track and like skip a lot of the hurdles pretty much, even though I did come across a lot of hurdles, a lot of like bumps and stuff that I did learn from.
Of
Uh,
course.
but like I think having you guys there to be like, all right, do this, speak to this person, um, you know, change this thing that you've done, um, is like helped tremendously, to be honest.
Awesome, awesome, love it. Um, yeah, it's actually crazy how fast you've grown. I think you're probably the number one fastest growing student that we've had.
Yeah,
Definitely a testament to your character and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, when we started out, obviously we had a blueprint from like 0 to 5 properties, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 20 to 30, and then 30 to 35. Obviously, eventually 35 to 40.
yeah,
Um, And the way we've been able to grow so quickly is exactly what we kind of bestow upon our students, and the knowledge, and also the guidance and whatnot. And yeah, definitely love speaking to students and helping students that are really passionate like you and involved. I think whenever you have a question, even like my other students, I'm not sure if I've called you, but I have literally students that kind of run into emergencies and need a quick phone call. But
Yeah.
obviously you've gone through some hardships as well, but that's
Mm.
that's that's what we like. Remember what I told you about kind of the silver lining, and in terms of increasing your business acumen and your business mindset of
I,
going through the hardships first, and then you can deal with anything, and you're absolutely killing it, man. So um,
yeah.
yeah, congratulations. What's the goal? Are you hunting for more properties after this one, or?
I mean, 100%. Like, the good thing is I've kept pretty good contact with a lot of the agents that I have dealt with, or that have given me leases. Like, the one who gave me this apartment, for example, um, he wanted like a video. I sent him like the professional photography photos that were taken yesterday, and he's got a couple of buildings in this area. And he's like, hey, look, I could speak to the landlord for this one and that one and that one. Do you want all of them? And I'm like, yeah, look, tell me what you can get, and we'll see what we can do. But I think, yeah, I've definitely, I'm definitely on the hunt for more. Like when I came in, my goal was like, I want to get 10 properties,
Yeah,
10 apartments. Like that was my goal. Um, so my head's still set on that. Um, you know, we still want to consolidate the ones. I don't want to rush it, which
for sure, for sure.
like I did have one property where I rushed it too fast. I'm like, I don't want to. I'm burning rent money, so let me list it as fast as possible when like the internet hadn't been connected, or there was still a couple of issues. So I realized like make everything 100%, and then start to like look forward and look at listing, because quality does matter so much
For
compared
sure, so much, yeah.
to quantity, and having as many listings as possible. So
Yeah, once that property or those photos are kind of set in stone,
yeah,
it's quite inefficient to change everything around. So definitely, as you learn, you will pick up these small kind of tips and tricks that you go along the way. Like it is sometimes, much more better in terms of your return on investment in the long run if
yeah,
you burn another day or two of rent. It's not the biggest issue.
yeah,
Um, but that's absolutely amazing, man. And we're looking at, hopefully, I did some rough calculations for you. Hopefully
yeah,
70 to 80K in profit.
yeah.
So really keen for that, man. And in terms of the pricing system, I know that your listings are quite new, but have you kind of felt comfortable with implementing our settings and understanding it just yet, or is it still a little bit new to you, I guess?
No, no. I think I've got a good grasp on it, but I think it's still like I only just figured the pricing, revenue management, all of that a couple of days ago, and then it made a lot of sense. And I'm like, yeah, it's not just you got a property, you list it, and then you just hope for the best. Like there's real strategies that go into the actual pricing. So I'm still learning, but I think I kind of understand the language a bit more now, which is
Awesome, awesome. And it's
nice.
totally fine if you don't understand it just yet, because I know our settings are quite in depth. Like the price lab
Yeah.
settings or the scripts and codes that we gave you is definitely a bit overwhelming in terms of the aggressive occupancy settings, or kind
Mm-hmm.
of incentivizing longer stays after X amount of period of if guests are booking X amount of days out, how long do we want them to book for, incentivizing those stays, things like that. But in
Yeah.
terms of revenue management, we're gonna get you there. It
Yeah.
is a learning process. Check in once or twice a week, and we're gonna monitor those occupancies and your base price and your minimum price, everything like that.
Mm.
But I saw the photos that came out, and do you remember the first thing I said to you when I saw those photos?
For which one? Which one? For
The,
the
the exactly for which one? For the first one, I was like, damn, you need to stage my properties. You
oh yeah,
absolutely killed it.
yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
photos
Crazy.
looked absolutely amazing, man.
Yeah, it's crazy because like the when I got my first property, and like I know nothing about interior designing. Like I'm when it comes to styling, I'm not the best, to be honest. And I was like a little bit less confident. I'm like, how do I style this? Like, what do I do? What color schemes? Like, but I think like through your guidance, through looking at examples, you sort of just get a taste for it, and then it becomes kind of like second nature. Like for this apartment, I was just like I already knew what I was going to go for,
Yeah,
and plot everything to go with it. So yeah,
perfect,
you
perfect.
come a long way from like your first one, even though it hasn't been that long.
It hasn't been long at all, man.
but
That's crazy. That's crazy.
but
But
no,
yeah, that
it's
is
good.
amazing. Really, really cool, man. I'm not gonna take too much of your time away. I know you're a busy, man, and you have to close more deals, finish more properties. But very excited to see the rest of your journey. And definitely even motivating to myself to continue and get out there. So very good job, man. Very keen. You're absolutely killing it. Don't stop. Um, and yeah, thank you very much
All good.
for this interview, I guess.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Awesome.